Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chidinma Obo, an Enugu-based makeup artist, human hair vendor, and a YouTuber. If this is your first time or being in this channel, please click on the subscribe button to join the family. If you've been in this channel before, hi my loves, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a pixie coil wig, how to wig and style a pixie coil wig. So stay tuned. First of all, the materials I use are the previous things I showed you here. The closure is a 5x5 closure, and the wig I'm going to make is a 200-gram pixie coil wig, 14 inches, 200 gram. So first of all, you attach your mesh cap to the mannequin or a basket. So what I'm using here is a basket, and then you clip it with pin so that it will not be moving. You clip the closure together with the mesh cap on the mannequin you're using or on the basket you're using. So if you're using a mannequin, you're going to get a foamy one so that when you clip the pin, it can stick to it. It can stick to it and be strong. So first of all, what we'll do is to sew the closure in, because it's when you sew the closure, that is when you will now measure out the part where the rest of the wig will be. If you not sew the closure first, you might make mistake. You might not get the right measurements. So that's why we started with the closure. And while making the closure, make sure that you tight the thread so that whenever they're combing the wig, the comb will not be getting stuck to the loose thread of the closure. When you're sewing the closure, if you get to the last part, the end of the closure, you sew it backwards a little bit, again, maybe 2 or 3 lines, so that the closure will be strong. It will not lose. Because if you just tie it at the edge, the thread might lose. But when you sew it back again 2 or 3 lines before you knot it, it will be strong. So because this is a coily wig and we want it to be as long as possible, we are going to start sewing the wig from the edge of the mesh net. And also, we are not going to fold the hair. Had it been this is a straight wig, we can fold the hair, but because it's a coily wig, you will not fold it, you will spread the hair. You sew it one line. This is so that it will be as full as possible when you comb it out. When you're making a coily wig, it's always good to spread it out so that it will be full. If you fold it to 2 lines, if you fold it into two to wig it, when you comb it out after wigging, it will not be full. It will not be as full as when you spread it, when you sew with one line. I mean, when you don't fold the hair. So because we want the hair to be as long as possible and as full as possible, we'll start making it from the edge of the mesh net. If you've been on this channel and you've watched our previous videos, you'll find out that when we made a bob wig or any wig that will give a blunt cut, we give at least 2 inches above the edge of the net before we start making. But because this is a coily wig that we want to be as full as possible, we are not going to trim it we are not doing any form of trimming. We'll start from the edge of the net so that it will be long, and then we are going to put we are not going to give so much space as we are making the beginning part of it, because we want it to be full at the back of the head. We want, after making the wig, when you comb it, the ones that will be on your shoulder will be very full, so that the beauty of the pixie cut will come out. So after sewing the first line, you're going to put the second one you're going to sew directly on top of the first line. Just a little space. You will not give too much space, so that it will be full at the back. That is how you make a coily wig. This is a 200 gram. So 100 gram of the wig is going to be at the back. So the remaining 100 gram, we're going to spread it on top of the head, on top of the mesh cap, so that the majority of the hair will be behind. That way it will be full. I'm sorry my camera is this way. When I was positioning it, I was using a back camera of my phone. So I didn't know I did not position it well. That's why it's like this. So before I could find out, I've already gone far. And I don't want to lose it and start all over again. You see how I'm sewing it exactly, like directly on top of the next or the previous one I made. You will not give too much space because we want the wig to be full. When you want to turn the wig, you just sew the next one. You just give one jump a little bit and sew the next one. Then you go back and forth so that it will be strong and so that it will be flat before you continue sewing. You see, I'm going back here. I've already sewn front, then I went back again, then I come back again and continue, so that the place I folded the wig at the edge will be flat. This is especially for a straight hair. And why making a wig? Because you don't know the size of whoever the customer that will buy the wig is. Why picking the net with your needle and thread? You pick a little net. If you pick too much net, the wig cap might not size the customer's head if the person has a big head. So to avoid a situation of the wig being too small for the customer, you just pick a little with your needle and thread while sewing it. So if the customer has a smaller head, then you can shape it. It's easier to shape than for you to start losing it all over again because it did not size the customer's head. You see, I'm sewing it directly on top of the next one because I want it to be full behind, so that when you comb it, majority of the hair will be on the customer's shoulder, and then the back will not be scanty. If you did not sew it this way, the back of the head will be scanty and people will think, or the tip will be scanty, and people will think that you do not that is not up to 200 grams, that the wig is small. But when you put majority of it behind, the tip of the hair will be full when you comb it out, so that it will give you that double drawn look that it is. It won't be looking like single drawn. If you spread it like that, when you comb it, it will be looking like single drawn. You know, single drawn hairs are always tip at the edge. You don't want your double drawn hair to turn out looking out like single drawn hair. see when you fold it, you move forward and pick the thread and the thread, and pick the hair with the thread. Then you sew it backwards again so that it will be tight. That edge will not swell up and be big, especially for a straight hair. You sew it backwards and sew it forth again. That way that edge will be very tight and flat. So this is the second to the last line we are wigging. We sew it close to the closure. But the final one we are going to wig, we are going to place the final hair we are going to place on this wig I'm making now. I'm going to place it directly on top of that closure line. This thread is about to finish, so I'm going to cut it here. I don't want to cut it at the edge of the hair because it might lose. So even though I'm about to cut it, I'm going to still sew it backward so that that place will be strong. Because if you decide to cut the thread at the edge of the hair, the thread might lose while combing the hair. So this last one, I'm going to follow that line of the thread I used in sewing the closure to the mesh net. So I'm going to follow it while putting the last one because I don't want to have any space between the closure and the next line of hair I fixed there. So I'm going to follow it directly on top to trace the line of the closure. So I don't know if I said it. If you're making the wig, when you pick the thread with the hair and the net with the needle and thread, you turn it 2 times before you knot. 2 times before you knot. And then if you want to cut the thread, you turn it 4 times before you knot it and tie it again so it will be strong. Because I'm going to cut this thread here. I mean, I've finished sewing the wig. I'm going to still sew backwards, like I said before, so that it will be strong. There's still excess wig remaining, so I'm going to fix it behind. Now I'm going to style the hair. Before I make it wet, I want a C curve. This is a 5x5 closure, so I'm going to part it to a C curve and then use my hair wax and hot comb and flatten it so that the pattern will be defined. This is a hair wax I'm using. Use it directly where you're going to hot comb. You might be wondering why the closure is like this. It's because I vetted it myself. So I'm going to wet this hair now. As I was using this pure water, the pure water wasn't doing justice to it. So I'm going to take it off camera and soak it in water so that it will be very wet. Make it very wet. Make it so wet. Okay, I used a leave-in condition. After soaking it with water, I used Mega Growth leave-in condition. You apply it generously on the hair. Generously on the hair. And then you start combing it out. Why combing any wig, whether it's coily wig or straight wig, you start from the tip. You detangle from the tip before you go upwards. So this is our hair. Can you see how full it is behind it? So this is the final look of the hair. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any question, leave it in the comment section. Please share this video to your friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.